Adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the Co-Star, the official newspaper of the Borough of Belmar, and the Asbury Park Press, and notice of this meeting was posted on the bulletin board of the municipal building. Take roll call. Councilwoman Donovan? Here. Councilwoman Kinney? Here. Mayor Buckafusco?
Here.
Councilman Rondinero? Here. Councilman Levis?
Here. You stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing for a moment of silence for our troops, their families, and our first responders. Thank you. Okay, the first thing on our workshop is the Sustainable New Jersey plaque presentation.
Yeah, come on, guys. That's sure. For now. Other John's not going to take a picture. Thank you. Hi, everyone. I'm very, very pleased to present today to the Borough on behalf of the Environmental Commission this plaque recognizing our bronze status for the Sustainable Jersey program. This was the result of a lot of hard work, mostly by the people standing next to me, especially Diane Villa, Ed Lippincott. Almost. Excuse me. I'm so sorry, guys. That was awful. Who wants the plaque now? Yeah, exactly. We also want to thank the Belmar Police Department, our school, DPW, and the borough. All of you worked so hard to get this accomplishment. It involved a painstaking inventory of everything the borough is currently doing towards sustainable and financially sustainable practices for the betterment of the borough and every single resident and our visitors. So thank you very, very much. If any of you would like to say anything about this?
I'd like to thank the borough for enlisting in the cause. I think it's going to make for a better Belmar, and people have been really open to considering making things better, which is a wonderful team feeling to have about our town. I want to thank Chief Scott, she's right over there, and her OEM officers. They were really nice. They're very busy over there, but they took their time to do some extra things for us. I want to thank the borough staff. I want to thank the Magical Garden, people at the Master Gardeners. So we had a lot of help from the community, and that's so much appreciated. So thank you, everybody.
Okay, next on the workshop, our borough administrator, Kevin Kane, is going to give us a brief update on grants. There was a request at the last meeting that we go over this, so he put together something to let you know what we've done in the past 2+ years in terms of grants.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to, as the Mayor mentioned, there were some inquiries as to our grants so far. So I put together a little synopsis of where we're at, what we've received through today. We've received a total of over $3.3 million in grant funding under Mayor Buckafusco's administration. Let me just, I'm just going to do a quick summary of these. So in 2023, we received 3 grants. $71,000 from New Jersey Department of Community Affairs Local Recreation Improvement Grants for new basketball supports and hoops at Dempsey Park. That was awarded in June of 2023. Is this thing on? You can touch it now, right? Okay. We get close here. $10,350,000 from New Jersey Division of Travel and Tourism, cooperative marketing grant for marketing support for the annual Belmar Seafood Festival. That was awarded September of 2023. $484,000 from the New Jersey Department of Transportation. That was a Transit Village grant program for the Belmar train station. I'll just keep talking. I'll talk. Yeah, I don't want to talk too loud. For Safety Improvement Project, that was awarded in November 2023. Then in 2024, we had $2,776,826 in the form of 14 different grants. The first one was a technical assistance from New Jersey Office of Homeland Security and Preparedness, state and local cybersecurity grant to upgrade and increase the borough's cybersecurity and backup capabilities. It was awarded in January 2024. $1,504,184 from New Jersey Department of Community Affairs. That was a Boardwalk Preservation Grants Program for installation of a new permanent bathroom facility on the Belmar Boardwalk at 16th Avenue Beach entrance. It was awarded in February of 2024. $35,000 from New Jersey Department of Community Affairs from the American Rescue Plan Firefighter Grants Program for turnout gear, washing machine, and dryer. That was awarded in March of 2024. Technical assistance, $10,000 value from Sustainable Jersey. Complete Streets Technical Assistance Program for a Complete Streets Plan. That was awarded in April 2024. Can you hear me if I just talk loud?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just going to do that. $525,750 from the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection. That was a Green Acres Jake Law Playground Grants Program for construction of an inclusive playground at McCleary Park. That was awarded in April 2024. $2,000 grant for Sustainable Jersey at PSE&G Foundation's grant program for green team support. $67,000 from New Jersey Department of Community Affairs, local recreation improvement grant for new light fixtures in the basketball courts at Dempsey Park, awarded in May 2024. $198,000 from Monmouth County Municipal Open Space Program for the resurfacing of the basketball courts and adding 3 new pickleball courts at Dempsey Park. That was awarded in July of 2024. $10,000 from the New Jersey Board of Public Utilities, Community Energy Plan Grants Program for development of a Community Energy Plan, awarded in August of 2024. $7,000 from the New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, drive sober or get pulled over statewide Labor Day crackdown for officer overtime enforcement and education, awarded in August of 2024. $86,899 from Monmouth County Community Development Block Program for ADA compliant door replacement project at Borough Hall and Taylor Pavilion. You see the one out here on the 6th Avenue side. There's going to be one on Main Street and one at Taylor Pavilion. That was awarded in October 2024. $299,002 from New Jersey Department of Transportation Municipal Aid Grant Program for South Lake Drive, 6th Avenue and B Street resurfacing project, awarded in November of 2024. $7,000 from New Jersey Division of Highway Traffic Safety, drive sober or get pulled over, end of the year holiday crackdown for 100 hours of officer overtime in December 2024, awarded in November of 2024. And $24,993.10, Lieutenant Joseph DiBernardo Memorial Grant Foundation grant program for the Fire Department Personnel Escape Safety Systems. That was awarded in December 2024. There's also an additional amount of over $7 million that we've applied for that is still currently being under review, that we should find out throughout the course of this year how we made out on that.
Okay, thank you very much. Just one thing to clarify for the people, a lot of the grants are things like basketball courts and things like that. Those things haven't come to fruition yet because there's a process, right, that we need to follow before we do those things.
Correct. There's a process that has to be budgeted for, their engineering and everything, so they're all in different phases as we speak.
Okay, I'm just anticipating questions that people might have on that. Any questions from the council?
I just wanted to add that I wanted to thank Millennium Strategies and our business administrator, Kane, for helping with the Belmar Housing Authority's grant for their community funding. I believe all of the paperwork, everything is submitted, and now we're just waiting for that funding to come through.
Okay, the last thing for petition, just to bring the council up to date on a recent article in a pseudo news site on the web concerning new positions that we have in Belmar, which would be part of Ordinance 2025-01. They're technically not new positions, meaning they're not new people being hired, but we're trying to bring in line the facts that exist now in terms of our personnel, bring it in line with what we have on our schedule. So, for example, the three positions that were mentioned in the article was the EMS Assistant Coordinator. Okay, in the ordinance, it looks like a new position, but it is not a new position. There's a person already serving in that position with that title, but the title doesn't appear on the list of approved titles, so we had to add that. The second one, the Marina Supervisor, that is a new title, but I don't know if everyone understands that these are just titles. They're not necessarily filled positions. So, for example, there are things on here that we have as titles, but we don't have people in those positions. For example, I just went through real quickly. We have listed an Assistant Finance Officer. We do not have an Assistant Finance Officer, but it's in the schedule. The Deputy Director of Information Technology is on the schedule, but we don't have one. So, I mean, those are examples of there are things on here that are just titles with salary ranges, but that does not necessarily mean that we have a person in that position. And the last one that was mentioned in a brief article was the Chief Lifeguard off-season. Again, this is just putting down on paper what has been happening in reality for the past number of years. You know, the Chief Lifeguard works for a period of time on salary, and then there's a period of time before the season and after the season where any hours that are put in are paid on an hourly basis. So all we're doing here is we're just, you know, documenting and putting on paper what the reality is. So there's the Chief Lifeguard works from Memorial Day to Labor Day, and any time before then or after then, there's an hourly rate at which that person works. This is nothing new. It's been done for years and years, but we're just, you know, putting it down on paper so everyone sees what it is. So I just wanted to explain that to the council also to perhaps avoid some questions that may come about later on. Any questions?
Yeah, so about the Marina Supervisor, because there are some people that are already working at the Marina that would be qualified to be promoted from within, correct? So I just wanted the public to know that that's an option also, that there potentially would be just a promotion for someone there to fill that position,
Well,
as opposed to maybe bringing someone from the outside.
Anyone who currently works for the borough who thinks they like to have that position then should file a resume, just like everyone else does, and they would be considered. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, then I guess we can move on to petitions.
I have not received any petitions.
Approval of the minutes.
I have a motion to approve the minutes of the February 19th meeting.
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Yes.
Councilman Rondinero?
Yes.
And Councilman Levis?
Abstain.
Reports of council. Councilwoman Donovan.
The Dine and Discover, it will be happening on Sunday, March 9th. Any interested businesses, you are still open to apply to join. You please email our esteemed clerk here, April. We already have over 20 restaurants and businesses who will be participating, and once again, there will be trolleys for anyone who is participating.
It will start at 10th Avenue Burrito, where you can pick up your wristbands for the event. For more information, you can go online. The easiest way to find it is through our event calendar for March 9th. I've already talked a little bit about everything the Environmental Commission does, but I do want to talk about that the Borough Engineer is working with the Environmental Coalition along with DPW to professionalize and work further on that project. Right now, he's working to look at all of our outfall plans and our current system, our current outlet system, to see what our options are as we move forward. We're also still working with the Army Corps of Engineers. I've had a lot of questions about that in the last 2 weeks. We are really optimistic, but at the same time, we are aware that the federal funding is in flux right now. So we are hopeful though. The geese, I just want to let everyone know, we know that there have been dead birds around. If you see one, you can call in Belmar. If you see one in Belmar, please, you can call the police, you can call DPW, or you can email dpw@belmar.com. Please don't touch it. That is really, really important. In happier news, the parade is this weekend. I hope everyone comes out. We will all be there, and I will hand it off to Councilwoman McKinney.
Okay, thank you so much.
Councilman McKinney?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Okay, a couple things tonight. Shade Tree Commission, they are working on the ordinance, the MS4 ordinance, which is the ordinance that now says you have to have a permit to take any tree down on your property. So that is something that we're working on to make it a little bit more user-friendly so residents can be aware of what's going on with that. Shade Tree is also in the process of renewing their membership to the Shade Tree Federation for 2025. We are applying for a grant that is going to help digitize the tree inventory. So we're looking out for that too, and talking about grants, that would be great. And the Arbor Day celebration is going to be Friday, April 11th for 4th graders from St. Rose Grammar School and Belmar Elementary School. The rain date is April 14th. I'll have more info on that as we come up to that. Around recreation, junior guard signups are closed. We are full program for 2025 this year, which is fabulous because it's a great program. Summer camp signups are starting March 13th. If you are a returning family with campers, that's the day that you would register. There is very few spots open outside of that. So if there are spots available, please watch the website and reach out to Barry in Recreation if you would like to sign up for summer camp. Summer basketball signups start March 1st. The Easter egg hunt is April 12th. Volunteers are needed. If any high school students need any kind of volunteer hours, this would be the time to do so. I'm going to pass that on to the St. Rose kids because they're always looking for volunteer hours. And there's a new salsa class tomorrow at 11:30 at the Taylor Pavilion. It is free. If anybody wants to learn how to salsa, it is an intro class. You do not need a partner. And you could come out and if everybody likes it, that's going to make it a regular program for recreation. A couple things around the school. St. Rose High School. Both the boys and the girls high school basketball teams made it to the Shore Conference Final. Unfortunately, the girls lost by just 2 points to Red Bank Catholic. But the boys won. We were triumphant again. Second year in a row, boys basketball team won the Shore Conference against CBA. Tomorrow night is the first round of the States, and it is home. So try to get tickets against Bergen Catholic, 6:30, across the street at the auditorium in the gym. There will be a parade viewing party for St. Rose High School right next to the high school. If anybody's alumni and they want to watch the parade from there, they can. The St. Rose High School pipe band and the cheerleaders will be marching in the parade, as well as the St. Rose Grammar School kids will be marching in the parade. St. Rose Grammar School has their big yearly fundraiser, their casino night at Jumping Brook, which is March 7th. And if you want information about that or get tickets, you can do so at strosgrammarschool.org/PTA. Belmar Elementary School, the band is also marching in the parade. March 14th and 15th is the school musical Seussical. It's in the auditorium. You can look out for tickets to that. They also want to announce that they have opened up their pre-K program. So registration is open for for Belmar and Lake Como, 3 and 4 year old full day pre-K, 9 to 2. Registration is going to be open. There's flyers about that if you want information in the back. And skate park, this Friday, we're doing a dine to donate, also to help fundraise for the skate park. From 11 to 7, 25% of sales go to Friends of Belmar Skate Park. We've also applied for the local recreation grant. We're hoping that we are able to get awarded that grant for the skate park this year. And we are also working on another fundraiser for June. So look out for that. And that is all I have.
Thank you. Council President Rondinero.
Thank you, Mayor. I understand some of the businesses received some letters about the flutter flags after complaints were made by residents. Currently, that ordinance prohibits flutter flags. However, it is under review. The planning board had several months ago given us some of their thoughts on how to revise this ordinance. It does need to be revised. Councilwoman Kinney and I have already met with several residents and businesses regarding this, and I do hope that we're able to make progress on this. That is something that will not only benefit the businesses but the residents as well. If you would like to be a part of that sign ordinance committee, we'd love to have some more people, especially residents, to be on that so that we can make a good decision on how that rolls out. So if you can email April or you can email me, mronzanaro at belmar.com, and we'd love to get you on that committee so we can answer some of the questions that our businesses have.
I don't know whether you want to say something.
No, just go ahead.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Almost done. For our library, March 12th at 6 p.m. is our annual soda bread contest. We have filled entries for the white soda bread, but we might still have openings if you want to compete in the brown bread contest. I happen to like that the best. It's a delicious and fun event, so please register and join us. And then also the library is making a date with history this March, featuring 2 great events from American history. Saturday, March 15th at 11, we'll have Amelia Earhart. And Saturday, March 29th at 11, we'll have Lewis and Clark. Both will be at the Taylor Pavilion. You do need to register online, but if you have any trouble with that, you can call the library and they will help register you. Should be a wonderful presentation with historian, actors, and American historical theater. And I'm very excited about Parade Day and hope to see you all there.
Thank you. Councilman Levis.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to remind anyone looking for rec baseball or softball, sign-ups are going on now. The early bird special is until February 28th, so if you can sign up this week for softball or baseball, you might be lucky enough to have Councilwoman Donovan or myself coaching some of your kids. Also, some updates on the fuel dock. Some good news. The mobilization is happening now for the fuel dock replacements, so we should have barges arriving in the marina if they're not there already, and they should be starting some of the piling work this week. I'm hoping to have the fuel dock sections on site by the 3rd week in March. So really good to see some progress going on there. And that's all I have, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. I also have something very positive to announce. A couple of weeks ago, we were talking about beach badges, and one of the issues that has come up, and it's come up in past years, is access to the beach for veterans. As you know, we have an ordinance which says they can get on the beach for free, but they need to go to the booth and get a wristband and then go on the beach. And then if they come the next day, they have to do the same thing. And we kind of said, how can we, correct this so that we don't have this happening all the time? And, we put our heads together, and it was a fairly simple solution, which I'm going to announce tonight and which we're going to do a press release on. But basically what we're going to do is we're going to give veterans season badges for free, so that they don't have to keep coming every day to the booth. Once we looked at it, it seemed like a fairly simple solution. We just give them the badge and we say, no fee on the system. We had to check to make sure that our computer system could handle that. But I think it's it's a way that we can honor our veterans, and enhance their experience when they come to Belmar and they want to spend a day on the beach, or a week on the beach, or a month on the beach. They don't have to keep coming back. As I said, there'll be a press release on this. The free beach badges will be available for pickup at our Borough Hall starting March 3rd. Veterans, will be asked to provide proof of service, which they had to do in the past, such as military discharge or a DD-214 when they're registering for the badge. So I think it's part of our ongoing efforts to support and honor our military veterans, and I think it's part of our designation as a veteran-friendly municipality. So I'm happy that we could do that, and I hope they all have a great summer. So I just wanted to make that announcement. Thank you. Anything else for this? Okay.
Next is public session on the resolutions. If anyone has a comment or question about a resolution on the agenda, please step forward, state your name and address.
Neil Scheck, 410 Fourth Ave. The resolution on supporting the law that would end the public notices in the newspapers. I'm opposed to this, and Governor Christie tried to get this law passed years ago, and the Star-Ledger led the opposition to it, and they succeeded, and Christie did not get it passed. Christie hated the newspapers, and he wanted to kill them, but he did not succeed. Now, unfortunately, the Star-Ledger is not with us anymore. So this idea is being pursued again. Right now, when the free press in America is under attack by the administration in Washington, like never before in American history, and I find that this is a bad time to do anything that will attack the newspapers and lead to the death of more newspapers and the free press in America. And I don't think that it's so much money that the town can't afford it. So I oppose that resolution. Thank you.
Thank you for your input. Anyone else would like to comment on any of the resolutions? Okay.
I have a motion to close the public session.
Motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I have a motion to approve the resolutions as listed on the consent agenda.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
Councilwoman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilwoman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Beneficio?
Yes.
Councilwoman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Now we're on to ordinances. The first one is ordinance 2025-1. This is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 11, Section 11.3, setting salary schedules. This is open for second reading and public hearing. If anyone wants to comment on the ordinance, please step forward, state your name and address. Seeing none, can I have a motion to close the public?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-1?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Beneficio?
Yes.
Councilman Rondinero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Next is ordinance 2025-2. This is an ordinance amending Chapter 41, creating the municipal housing liaison position. Do we have open it up for a second reading and public hearing? If anyone has a comment or question, please step forward. Motion to close the public hearing.
I'll make the motion.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
And can I have a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-2?
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman Kinney?
Yes.
Mayor Beneficio?
Yes.
Councilman Romanero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Next is ordinance 2025-3. This is an ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 5, Department of Public Safety, specifically Article 1, Sections 5-3 for the fire department. This is open for public hearing. If anyone would like to comment, please step forward. I have a motion to close the public hearing. Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And a motion to adopt ordinance 2025-3.
Motion?
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Yes.
Councilman Romanero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Okay, next is first reading and introduction on ordinance amending section 18-4.3 miscellaneous rates and services. Do we have a motion to offer for first reading and introduction?
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Yes.
Councilman Romanero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Next is ordinance 2025-5. This is an ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and to establish a cap bank. Do we have a motion to offer for first reading and introduction?
Motion.
Second.
Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Yes.
Councilman Romanero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
And last one is ordinance 2025-6, ordinance amending and supplementing Chapter 19, traffic, adding Section 54, low-speed electric bicycles and other means of motorized conveyances. Do we have a motion to offer for first reading and introduction?
Motion?
Second. Councilman Donovan?
Yes.
Councilman McKinney?
Yes.
Mayor Buckfusco?
Yes.
Councilman Romanero?
Yes.
Councilman Levis?
Yes.
Okay, so that's it for ordinances. Next is our general public session. If anyone would like to speak, please remember to state your name and address first.
Hi, Joe Mangione, South Lake Drive. Just a couple of quick things. You mentioned the dead geese. The geese kind of are back and visiting in tremendous amounts lately around the lake. I know you'd hired a company to manage them. Are they still under contract, or what's going on with them, or can you get an update on that?
Actually, I was talking to him today. We hired a company called Birds Beware. Birds Beware is the name of the company. They usually are in a gray van if you see them. He prefers to get here between 10 and 1 because then is when he sees the most activity. I meant to actually bring this up in my report. He had told me months ago that February was going to be a rough month, but that he's here. He does also use a boat or a drone in the water to continue to scare off the geese. The problem right now are the brants, which are the slightly smaller geese with the black hood. They don't scare too easily with the dog. They fly up, they fly around, they fly right back. They are migratory, which is nice because it means they will leave at some point, but the dog is not the most effective way with them, unfortunately. But he's definitely there. He also mentioned, and I wanted to bring this up specifically, that he has seen evidence and has caught someone feeding the geese. Exactly. Please don't feed the geese or any wild animals. It just keeps them here and it's bad for their tummies. It's bad for everyone involved. Please don't do it. But yes, we still have the contract. He's still working. It was always going to be a bad week because they are wild animals, you know.
Given this issue of bird flu and geese, is there a health issue, other than the annoyance, is there a health issue we should know about? In terms of the bird flu or anything?
I mean, when I read the warnings, there was, I wouldn't allow your dogs to eat anything, of course. I know when we spoke to DPW and they are making a point of checking the playground specifically to make sure they're clean and able to be used. So we are very aware of that and keeping our residents' health in mind.
Secondly, have you come to a conclusion on the EMS situation?
No, but I do have an update. Councilwoman Donovan and I met with Commissioner Director Tom Arnone and Sheriff Sean Golden I believe it was about a week ago, specifically on the EMS program that the county is currently running, known as MedStar. And we have received some good information from them. We're waiting for some more information from them, and they're waiting for some information from us. And pretty much that's where we're at this point. All right, so we'll have further updates as, you know, at a future council meeting.
One last question about the budget. I'm not sure if I understand this ordinance. You're seeking an increase of 2.5% in the budget? Am I reading that correctly?
No, that's a cap that every town is subject to, and then there's a procedure whereby we can extend the cap for, it's hard to explain, for amounts over the cap that we don't use in prior years. It's a little complicated, and it really should have the, you know, probably the CFO, unless you want to take a stab at it.
We can have CFO the next.
Yeah.
I could just briefly, I reached out to the CFO personally because I wanted to know that myself. And her explanation to me was very lengthy, but basically said there's been increases in pensions, insurance, fuel. A lot of the everyday medical expenses have gone up dramatically. So I asked specifically, because I was concerned about that myself, that this was going up again. So we can have Lorraine Carafa explain in detail, because she gave me a very detailed explanation.
I'm asking about the budget, just curiosity. Excuse me. Are you going to present the budget to the town before you vote on it, or is it just?
By law, there has to be a budget hearing.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thank you. Any other questions, comments? I think Tom got up before you.
I haven't read it here. Okay.
Hey, Brian, good.
No,
You're younger.
Oh, don't argue, guys.
They're both very green, so.
Tom Volker, 527 8th Avenue, Belmar. I'd like to say a word of support to the Asbury Press and the Co-Star, because they do give, I think, good summaries after our meetings, and I find them very helpful. So just like to go on the record there. And my favorite subject, the senior building, and I didn't hear, you might have addressed it, but I missed it. I understand that it's your lap, Dennis, Kevin, am I right?
Yes, the grant technically is under our business administrator's name now as the recipient. And we've since submitted the paperwork that's been needed on the portal that HUD had for us. Originally, it was confusing because it was the borough that was the recipient of the grant, but the name on that as the authorized user was Director DeSantis. So we needed to change that to our business administrator, but we have been able to successfully turn in what's necessary of what HUD needs so that they can send us the funding to fix that building.
Yeah, I thought, what is 676,000?
Yep, $676,000.
And what happened, there was just, instead of saying Belmar Housing Authority coming out of the Congress office, it said Borough Belmar. So
Okay.
that threw the whole thing with HUD into a different, which, why we had to be the recipient, and Belmar Housing Authority is a sub-recipient at this point.
I just asked, is it on your list of, is that grant on your list?
No.
Why wouldn't you have it on there?
Technically, it's not our grant, it's a Housing Authority grant, but because of that change in the name when it was submitted, that's our only involvement with this. So our involvement is with HUD to make sure the money comes and then the entire amount goes to the Housing Authority.
Good.
It's a pass-through through us.
And when do you expect to send out the bids for that?
We're still waiting from HUD as far as the actual grant itself. It's still in process through HUD at
In a
this
couple of
point.
years. I
Yep.
appreciate anything you can do to speed that up.
Those bids will be going out by the Belmar Housing Authority, so that won't be us going out for the bids. It will go through the Housing Authority. I think it wasn't included because it's not in our, we're not getting that in our general fund. We want to make sure we're very clear that that is earmarked for the Belmar Housing Authority.
That should be under elusive grants.
Okay.
Oh, it's under grants not funded yet by the federal government. That's just under.
Well, thank you. Thank you for
You're
the
welcome.
information.
I'm at a disadvantage trying to follow Tom Volker. I've got two things to say tonight. I'll be short. The first is I was walking by the pipe on Ocean Avenue on 7-Eleven. That pole, most people don't know the value of it, but it's probably the single oldest historical artifact that we have in town. Could be a couple others. And what I noticed was stickers, store stickers, on that pipe. Now that pipe has been there over 100 years. And plywall, I've counted the stickers, 41. And there's other stickers. So I got curious, and I went down to the plywalls on 16th Avenue. Not a single sticker on their picnic benches or on their sign. So I don't think the owners are taking the stickers and running up that pole and sticking it out there. But maybe if they want to market their business, not to use stickers. Years ago, we had this problem with Surf Taco. And I don't recall if we had an ordinance or if we just had the code enforcement person walk in and say, no more stickers advertising your business. Especially when they put it on that pole. I mean, that is so iconic to the borough of Belmar. It just shouldn't be done. And I'm sure the teens don't do it. I think it's competition. Some of those stickers are out there pretty high. Second thing I wanted to mention, I forgot to tell you, 207 South Lake Drive there. Live next door to Joe, and he's right. There are the Canada geese coming back, because this is February. Mixed in with those geese, mostly are migratory. They're going to be leaving soon, because they got to get back up to the Arctic Circle for the nesting season. And they got to get up there by the end of March. The ones that remain here are the resident geese. Look exactly the same as a migratory goose. You can't tell the difference. Those ones that stay here year-round, the resident geese, all hatched on that island. Because the basic biology or thing that the geese do is they live where they hatched. The resident geese in Belmar never know Hudson Bay. They've never been up to the Arctic Circle. Why would they leave? It's too far away. So what I'm saying is, and the Department of Public Works is going to cringe. Oh, I also want to say that the lights that they use, very, very effective. My praises to Colleen Sullivan. She did such a good job last year, and they were very effective, very effective. But you're not going to stop the resident geese with those lights from nesting on the island again. So we're going to have to go back out to the island like we did last year. And if you gave me right now a map of the island, I could point to you where those nests are going to be. Because she's going to nest right in the same spot she did last year. Now, if you go around Silver Lake right now, you're going to see all the, there's like, I think I counted today, 45 geese. They're in a flock. In about 3 weeks, they're going to start pairing off. The ones that pair off are your resident geese. And then about a week or so after that, there's just going to be one goose. The other one is going to be on the island, sitting on a nest. And if we can oil the eggs, then we don't have any hatch. Therefore, the gentleman that you have coming to do the goose work, which I did for about 12 years with the dog, I'm so upset that those lights work so effective, because you don't know how much trouble it was with that dog for 12 years. But the dogs only scatter the geese. And they're going to come back. They're going to come back each time, and you can scatter them tomorrow. The value of the dog is the month of May and early part of June, because the goslings hatch, and that's when the adults start to molt their feathers, and the adults can't fly the beginning of June. So if you take the dog then, I used to put them on a kayak when we go out in the lake, and get them to fly in the air, they know instinctively that it's getting more and more difficult to fly. So they won't come back to Belmar during June, July, and August because they can't fly. Other than that, the rest of the months, that dog just scatters them, and they're going to come back. So, if Billy was here, I'd like to have a meeting with Caitlin. I think we met last year to set up a schedule to go out to the island. There's going to be about 6 or 8 nests, I'm sure, and that turns into about 40, 42 eggs.
Last year, I think it was 48, yeah.
And we don't need 48 hatching, because they'll live for about 15 years, and so you have a problem for 15 more years. Having the dog, that's great too.
Did any eggs hatch last year, the 48, after we oiled them? Like it prevents all of them from hatching?
If you oil them once, maybe, but we went out 4 or 5 times. And by that time, yeah, they're done. And the female will sit on that nest until she has to make a decision. Do I stay here or do I starve? Obviously, she gets off the nest, and she's out of season. And that's where we used to take them. Yeah, 12 years of the dog, we were down to just 4 geese in Belmar. But I guess something happened. We didn't oil them often enough, and they're back. Okay. One more thing. I heard about the season badges for the veterans. Great idea. But what I might do, if you can, get them an iconic looking badge that's different than the other season badges. So when they wear these season badges, people will recognize that they're a veteran. Whenever I see someone wearing a hat or a shirt, you know, that they're in the military, I always say, thank you for your service. So if on the beach they're wearing this badge that is a military badge that they can see, you know, I hope that the people on the beach would, you know, thank them. You know, Tom Volker did me in. Yeah. Thanks, Tom. That's it. All right. Thanks. Anyone else?
I would just like to say, if it's okay, thank you, Mayor McGovern, for your continued effort with the geese in Silver Lake, and I hope that one day I'll get to addle the eggs with Councilwoman Donovan, but and be part of the solution. But I know it's an important issue. It's important to the residents, especially now that we have, you know, bird flu is such a you know, in our face situation.
I think we should have an event. Addle the egg event.
Guys. So, but I have to tell you, I was like, I've got this, Mayor. Like, I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna be the one, it's an umbrella, and you kind of open it at the geese to scare them off. Guys, some of those geese are really big, and they get really mad. And so I went from being like, I've got this, to literally hiding behind one of our DPW guys. It was a moment in which it called for some self-reflection afterwards, but it's a really good, important program.
You're opening.
Okay, Neil Scheck, 4th Avenue. And with the price of eggs, it's too bad the law won't allow you.
Don't even go
Might
there.
not want those particular eggs right now, guys.
The electric bike thing reminds me of something I've always wondered about. if there's somebody on the boardwalk with their motorized wheelchair, I mean, how do you tell it's not an electric bike that's not allowed, or it's an accommodation for a person with disability?
The ordinance had a pretty clear definition of an electric bike.
Yeah.
They're completely different from a wheelchair. We wouldn't be enforcing, someone with an electric wheelchair can absolutely be on the beach, on the boardwalk.
Okay. So, pretty soon the greatest destroyer of the domestic peace in Belmar is going to be coming back. And I'm not talking about loud cars, loud music, loud parties. I'm talking about the leaf blowers. So we have members of the environmental committee here, and I just want to say that I appreciate their efforts to do something about the leaf blower noise, because it's outrageous and it's totally illegal. It violates the noise ordinance. I don't see how or why it is tolerated. So that's my opinion on that. Pretty soon there'll probably also be the truck with the poison circling around Silver Lake, poisoning the Phragmites. I would ask if maybe that could be avoided, because we don't need more poison. And at the last cleanup of the lake, I took my heavy rake and I raked out a section with the Phragmites, and that section did not grow back nearly as much as the other sections. So I think we, volunteers, employees, whoever, we can pitch in, and with muscle power, we can replace the poison. That's my suggestion. One last thing. The curbs around Fifth Avenue and D Street in particular, I don't know if they were painted on uncured concrete or anything, but the paint, the yellow paint, is peeling off horribly. Is there something being done about that? Is a contractor at fault, or the borough?
We can look into it. I mean, I know the triangular park where we meet often.
I don't know.
That was only done like 2 years ago.
I know.
And the paint is coming off.
I've never seen anything like it.
I did flag that for DPW last week.
Yeah. And we can also bring it up to our borough engineer, because as they start to do other streets, we can point that out, that they need to make sure that the paint lasts more than 2 years. It should last for a long time.
I've never seen paint peel off a curb like that. And I like, when I'm walking, I like to pick up litter as I go, so I don't have to look at it again on my way back. But you try to pick up one of those big paint chips, and it just crumbles in your fingers. So you really can't pick it up. Vacuums. If you take a big shop vac around, you could vacuum it up. And that's a serious suggestion that the DPW look into cleaning it up with the vacuum. Thank you.
Okay, thanks. Any other comments?
Hi, my name is Sal Fiore. I am from Elm River. I don't live here. I'm a small business owner. I own Petacycle. We are a kind of a party bike company. I use the bike term loosely. It's like a 14-person kind of like car. I don't know if you guys have ever seen them. They're in like Nashville. They're in Austin. Like 6 people on this side, 6 people on that side. Everyone pedals. I'm just looking to essentially get in touch with the VA or somebody about just getting this ball rolling. I sent an email to the municipal clerk April, and I don't know if we were on it as well. But I'm just trying to get the ball rolling. We're in Seaside Heights. We are in Beach Haven, and it's just a fun thing I'm trying to bring to the town. And if we can get something together and get it working, I'm here for questions or whatever. But I'm just looking to get the ball rolling and see if it's a possibility for us to get with Belmar and see if we can make it work. No, it's good. Any questions?
No, thank you. Anyone else?
Actually, can I just say one thing real quick? That Mr. Scheck brought up was the e-bike ordinance. I just wanted to say, Councilwoman Kim and Chief Scott and I worked at that along with our borough attorney, and one of the things we wanted to make sure to do was make sure that these type of motorized vehicles, from motorized scooters to bikes, weren't being used also pretty specifically on the boardwalk and the lake paths. So we worked hard on that, so did our attorney, and if anyone has any further comments on it, please let us know.
Claire Hayner, 18th and B. Thank you very much for the summary on the grants. Do appreciate that. And thank you, Councilwoman Montanaro, for clarifying what happened with the housing, because when it wasn't mentioned by Mr. Kane, I was going to ask about it, but you took care of that. And you also took my thunder out, which I do appreciate, about the flutter flags, okay? Like maybe we can go about the stickers and issue some code enforcement things on stickers and on the list of other things that we maybe don't enforce, that we could enforce, that would benefit the residents versus potentially hurting our businesses. Thank you.
I suggest, as a general comment to people, that if you have an issue with something in that order, just let us know. You don't have to wait to a council meeting to come up and speak. You can send us emails, and it's good to get it in advance, because then we can start to see what the feelings of the public are about some of these things. So, feel free to contact us if there's something that you want us to know.
Hello, Sarah Tantillo, 505 13th Avenue. I wasn't able to attend the last council meeting, but I just want to give a shout out to the public responders, the emergency responders for the fire that was on 14th Avenue, which is directly across the street from my garage, and it was really horrifying to see. It was really inspirational to see how many people came out to fight that fire so quickly and just did a really great job. And I just want to thank everybody who was involved in that. It was really devastating for my neighbors, obviously. On a separate topic, I do have a question about the low energy bikes. I had spoken earlier about bicycles in general on the boardwalk, which don't seem to be mentioned in this ordinance. So I don't know if you're planning on having a separate ordinance or if it's just a matter of signage or whatever. But today was another one of those days where it's warm out, there's a lot of people on the boardwalk, and there's always somebody who just bikes up right behind people with no warning on a regular bike for no reason when there is a bike lane on the street that they could be biking on. So I would just... Hello?
We can hear you.
Yeah. So again, I just think it's a safety issue. There's a lot of people walking on the boardwalk these days, and it just is something we should really look at. Right? The sign is down. The sign's up in the summer, right? Between hours, whatever, but during the regular, when it's, the minute it becomes 50 degrees out, everybody seems to want to take a walk, and,
We'll take a look at that.
We have a bike ordinance, that you can ride your bike on the boardwalk on and off season, so we have to.
Sarah, did you hear that? So this was an amendment to the original ordinance that's already out there on bikes and vehicles, recreational, biking vehicles. We do part of the ordinance says that you can have a bike on the boardwalk in the off season. So between Labor Day and Memorial Day, at certain hours of the day, in the winter, you are allowed to ride your bike on the boardwalk. So that is something we would have to, I guess, reevaluate then.
That's what I'm proposing.
I know we
We're also discussing how we might need to update the signage for the boardwalk in general.
Yes.
There is time. There's a time.
Poor gentleman's been waiting.
And the lake path too, to make sure people know that they can't, because the problem with those is that it rips up the path itself, so.
Hi, Greg Mitchell on 1304 Ocean. I know it's probably not something that the town did, the rebuilding of the fenders coming into the harbor. That company, Simpson and Brown, I don't know if anybody's been watching, they have done a magnificent job. And I was just wondering if the town of Belmar, being that it is sort of coming into our marina, that way, could just send like a little thank you note or something like that. The company is Simpson and Brown. I guess there are not that many companies that do something like that, but I'm a walker, so I've sort of been watching it as it's happening. It was incredible. It was incredible the work that they did, and just a very professional job.
We'll pass it on to our
Are those
county
finished now, by the
engineers.
way?
They are done.
Oh, they're finished.
Yeah, so, took off, it was great. They were there for quite a while, but they did it. Take a look, it's wild. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay, April?
Can I have a motion to close the public session?
Motion.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next we have Resolution 2025-51, a resolution authorizing to adjourn into executive session. Whereas it has been determined by the Borough Council of the Borough of Belmar that it is necessary to discuss the following specific matter at its regular meeting in the absence of the public, which is contract negotiations. Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act permits the Borough Council to exclude the public from that portion of a public meeting during which such matters are discussed. Now therefore be it resolved by the Borough Council as follows, that the council shall forthwith recess into a private executive session from which the public shall be excluded to discuss the above referenced matters, that the scope of the aforesaid executive session shall be limited to the above matters as stated, that those matters discussed in executive session shall remain confidential until a time as the need for confidentiality no longer exists as determined by the borough attorney, and that minutes of the closed session shall be taken and kept free from public view until such time that